are getting ready to go live we're on Facebook, Jacqueline, and we are already on live.
I'm trying, but I ain't on Facebook Live.
Say it again. Let's just roll with it. You didn't get it, Jacqueline? All right.
It's low in mine. Should it be this?
Turn it up. You can hear it now? Awesome. After the intro? All right, we're going live.
So I go with, I can't, unless
All right. Good morning. I am Dr. Karen Lewis, licensed broker with K1 Realty Group and the host of the Real on Real Estate Radio. Thank you all for joining us today. And my contact information, make sure you have your pen and paper, 954-248-9149. Let me say that again, 954-248-9149. And all our social media is K1 Realty Group. And at this time, we do have super guests, so hold tight and make sure you get your pen and paper. But I'm going to pass it over to my co-host, Jacqueline. What's up, Jacqueline? Happy New Year.
Good morning.
I miss you.
I know. I haven't seen you in forever. I'm off the air. Good morning, WMBM. I am Jacqueline Williams, the co-host of the Real on Real Estate. If you need to reach me, my contact number is 770-256-1080, and that's JacquelineSalesHomes@gmail.com. I'm going to turn it back over to you.
All right. So we're going to get this show started because we got a lot of information that we want to pass out. And because I know that we were going to have a lot of information, we decided in advance to bring our guests back for the next show. And we do air every first and third Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Before I turn it over to our guests today, I do want all our listeners to know that we are doing for 2021, we're doing a real estate review. We know that every time you go get that financial checkup, at least I hope you're getting it. And if you have not been getting it, it's time to start getting it.
Yes,
Even if your
is.
bank account says $0, still it's time for that financial checkup so that it can no longer say $0. And if it says $1 million, it's still time. And also you do that medical checkup. We definitely want you to do that. And we're doing a real estate checkup with all our clients. And even if you're not our client and you have a home, we definitely would love to talk to you. We can meet you. We can do a Zoom or we can do a phone call. Yes. Our number, 954-248-9149. Jacqueline, give them your number.
770-256-1080.
That 770 area code. I heard my voice on that 770. So today, listeners, we are going to talk to one of our investors. And the reason we thought it was, awesome to have him come on as a guest, because I have a lot of people always asking me, Dr. Karen, how can I become an investor? What do I need to do? And there are a lot of people that want to do investing, but they just don't have the know-how. So we just want to give you some simple nuggets on how you can get started. Okay, so with us, Xavier. What's up, Xavier?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Xavier, I remember you, like when you had first started in investing, and I watched you grow tremendously. I mean, he's just doing some great things, not in just the state of Florida, but he's that investor that's just going all over.
Yes.
You remember when I first saw you and met you?
Yes, that was a couple years ago, I believe 2018.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's just been just like a steady growth from there.
Wow.
Building our relationship and more properties one after the next.
Wow, it sure has. And you were in corporate America, Xavier. You had that 9-to-5 job. Actually, they call it corporate America. I call it the plantation.
Yeah. It was a little bit of both. I did that for a while.
That's a good description.
That's what it felt like. But yeah, I did that for quite some time. Maybe for about 13 years. Worked for a major packaging company. Mm-hmm. 2 major packaging companies. One of the biggest e-commerce currently right now.
Right.
And that from there started to think and gauge what did I want to do as far as to kind of get my time back. And real estate investing gave me that time to get back that I always wanted.
That's
Wow,
awesome.
wow,
Awesome.
I like that. You said, what did I want to do to get my time back? Let me ask you a question, Xavier. When you started to do real estate investing, were you at your corporate job, as you call it?
Yes.
Okay.
So just like any other thing that, you know, people usually try, I picked real estate up, kind of started, really didn't have a good base, as people say. So I picked it up and put it right back down. So once the second time around came back and I kind of got some traction and understood that I just needed a little bit more time to put into the business, I took that leap of faith and took that next step forward.
Okay, money-wise, you know, because a lot of people want to invest, but then their question is, I don't have enough money, or maybe my credit is not where it should be. So how did you get started as for financially wise?
So financially wise, me, myself, I had investments that, as far as stock, that I was able to leverage to give me my base and my start. And I also use creative financing too as well, like hard money, to help make up the difference when it comes to purchasing homes, especially in the beginning when you first start out.
So your first home, how much did you purchase it for, and what were your, you know, how much stock did you use, how much hard money did you use? Because that's like an important question.
So here in Miami, real estate is more on the expensive side. So hard money would be the best way to start, especially when you don't have as much money to use. So hard money is going to come into place to make up the majority of the payment. So you, as the investor, initially when you start out, you'll be on the hook for maybe about 20 to 25%. Then from there, you have your costs, your rehab, your holding costs, and those things that you have to take into account. But my first property that I purchased was for $152,000, and it was a referral from my mom, actually.
Awesome, awesome.
Mom is helping you grow the business. Mom,
Always.
shout out to mom. My mom, okay, you need to get busy.
But he
Okay.
said, you know what you said also, you said hard money. Some people don't know what hard money is. Can you explain that to them?
Okay, so for everybody who doesn't know, so hard money is exactly what it sounds like, hard money. They lend you money at a higher rate than a conventional bank, just because they understand that you're in a more volatile business.
Okay.
And this particular entity, they lend out money for real estate purposes, not only to you but to any and everybody. So there's no cap. As long as the deal is good, they'll fund the deal. There are hard money lenders across the country, so no matter where you're at, you should be able to find one.
Awesome.
Gotcha. Okay, Xavier. So Jacqueline knows, so I have to go back. Okay, I need to go back on that right there because I'm in first grade. I'm looking to do some investing, so I have to take it back because I know some of my audience is saying go back.
Yes.
Okay.
You said that you started once and then you came back in the business because that's what happens. People start and they stop.
Yeah.
So the first time, take us back to what happened to make you stop and then start back.
So when I first started, I had gotten, it was kind of like a pamphlet or a booklet from a friend that I was working with at the previous company. And that book detailed wholesaling, which is another part of real estate.
Yes, it is.
So through that book, I understood some things, but I didn't get any traction as far as I didn't get any homeowners that came back to me that said, hey, I want to do a deal. I might have done it for maybe about 3 or 4 months, and I didn't have the resources or the know-how to say, okay, if I didn't have money, I can do this as well, just to compensate. Because a lot of people think that, okay, because of real estate, by it being such a big thing, I need to have a lump sum of money, or I need to have, endless funds, which is not necessarily the case. You just have to be creative with your approach.
So, Jacqueline, you want to?
No, that's a good thing, being creative with your approach. So I assume being creative deals with the hard money lending and just
And
trying to
also-
bring your resources together.
So like, the first go around, as far as wholesaling, I was just doing the same thing that everybody else was doing. Just trying to mimic what worked, but not putting my own twist on it. So I think that was a reason that was holding me back, and then, aside from not having the time as well.
Gotcha. Here's one of the things that's the main thing, and I think all of us in here can attest to that. What I'm about to say is that before we can even jump into real estate investing, most times people are afraid to jump into real estate investing because they don't have the know-how, they don't have the monies, and they don't have the this and the that. But one of the things that actually starts with our mindset. If we're not willing to change our mindset, and if we're afraid of jumping out there because we're afraid of losing money, then we freeze and we don't do anything. How can they, because first of all, we know that they have to reprogram, they have to renew their mindset. And if that's not going to happen, then they're going to go out there, they're going to jump into deep waters, and when they jump in that water in the first deal, they fail, then they're finished investing. But then when we go out there and we buy things that does not have any value, it doesn't do anything for us. And we can go and do that again and again and again. So help us through that right there, because somebody needs to know that so we can get some real estate investors. And Xavier, he's a mentor. I'm not going to say if he's a free mentor or he comes with a price, but I do know this here. He knows his stuff, okay? That's what I do know.
Right.
So I think the reason why people are so afraid of real estate is because they just don't have the proper education or just the proper just know-how, period. You have to get out and talk to people. You have to get out and make yourself vulnerable. You have to make conversations, Facebook groups, your local realtor meetings, those type of things. Get out and pass out your cards, talk to different people. But I think the reason why people are so scared is just because they're just afraid of saying, okay, well, what if I do mess up? But if you have the proper, preparation, you won't have that same scarcity that normal people would have.
Well, you may even mess up. I mean, I've messed up tons and tons of times.
But
it's still
perfect action.
You gotta keep jumping out there. You gotta keep moving.
Right, and you have something. And when you mess up, you have something to measure and have something to reflect by to see what mistakes that you won't do again.
And that's the major thing in this business. You have to find out what's not working in your favor and then tweak those things.
Right.
Back in the beginning when things wasn't working, all I did was just do the same thing, just more, but I was still getting the same results. So once I actually got back, read it out, what I was doing, saw that it really didn't make any sense to me and my demographic of people, I went back and I changed it, and that's when I got different results.
So what exactly do you do? You buy and you rehab and then you resell, or you rent? What's your niche?
So as of right now, I'm buying and holding, but I'm still open to all opportunities, of course.
Okay, so you buy, hold, rent, and create a income.
So that's what I'm in the process of doing now, to create that residual coming back. I've done my flips here in Miami.
Okay, so you've done your flips, so you're doing something a little different. So I know, now, because so many people are renting. Like, so many people are renting. That's just like the thing that a lot of people are doing
because
now.
despite what's going on, what people say, everybody's going to always need some place to stay.
Right.
Affordable housing.
Always.
Right.
So there's always going to be a demand.
Always. Housing is never going to go away.
Exactly.
Unless we all end up on the street somewhere, and that will never happen.
Right, absolutely.
So investing it is good, so.
Good. So Xavier, okay, so you said that right now you're buying and holding, okay, and you've done the rehab. I am a new investor, okay. People who also want to do real estate investing, they said, this is what they always say to us real estate agents, find me a good deal. Well, truth be told, if we had a good deal, more than likely, we would take the deal ourselves. So now, how do you tell them, what can they do for themselves? How do they prospect to get leads?
So the first thing is, before even going to your realtor, you have to first focus on a market. Are you going to wholesale? Are you going to fix and flip? And then that will probably go based off of your resources. If you have a team of people, you have contractors who you believe in, you can go to fix and flip. Even if you don't have, you can always still do that. You can always find contractors. If, let's just say, you want to just build up capital, you can wholesale. That's always another option. And then, you can go from one step in transition depending on what you're trying to do, whatever your end goal is. But depending on what type of investor you are, that may change over time as you get the experience. So for me, that's That's pretty much the best way to go about it.
So say today, I wanna jump in and I say, okay, and this is 101,
Right.
so for our listeners. Xavier, what do I need to do if I decide that I wanna buy it whole and rent it out and creating some residual income from rentals? What would be your best solution for me?
Okay, so if you want to get into a property as buy and hold, the first thing we'll have to figure out is what we have to work with as far as purchase price and credit, just to see how we can leverage those things as much as possible. So once we understand what number we're working with, the second question will be, okay, are you looking based in your current market where you're at now here in Miami, or would you mind going out to another state? And just the reason being is that there's a dramatic price difference. So, okay, we may have to be able to find a hard money lender here in Miami just to cover the price of the home that you want. Or we can go to another state and buy it flat out, utilize credit for the construction cost, get a renter in there, and after that, refinance. Take the same money that you put out and then do the same thing again.
Makes sense. So just to reflect on what you just said, the hard money lenders will lend anywhere, whatever state you're in, once you create that situation for it, you know. And then once you purchased a home, you decide whether you're gonna flip it or whether you're going to lease it out and create income from there.
Right.
And so now you're in debt. So how do I go to my next property?
So what happens is, okay, so when you buy, so anybody will tell you in real estate investing, you make your money on the buy, never the sell.
Okay.
So before